Hey, welcome guys. Tony Porter, Dice Tabletop Baseball. And here we are, 1974, Oakland at Texas. And it's going to be the 74 World Series Oakland Athletics versus the 74 up-and-coming Texas Rangers. And we're right about to start the action. Let's go to our control panel. And it's going to be, let me go over the lineups quickly. For the visiting A's, it's going to be Billy North in center, Campaneris at short, Bando at third. Cleanup and right field is Jackson. Fifth is first baseman Tennis. Sixth is Joe Rudy. Left fielder 7 is DH Darren Johnson. Eighth is Fossey. And ninth is Dick Green. So let's get started and let's roll some dice. Now it's Fergie Jenkins going for the Rangers in game 2. And it's Kenny Holtzman going for the Athletics. Lefty versus a righty. Let's roll those 2d6. Actually, I'm using double d6s. If you haven't seen those, they're very cool. Fairly large, so you can see them. And a d20. And this is pretty much all I need. This game is practically chartless. All right, so you get 26, which is usually he's a switch. Bill North is a switch hitter, and that's going to be banged up the middle, and that's going to go through the infield to Levito in center. And that is going to have a plus sign, so that means there's going to be a potential for a pickoff if there's a 1 there. There's no 1, so we're going to roll the dice for the steal. And North has a good lead. And Jenkins checks over and winds sets and deals to Campaneris, and there goes North. It's a ball, and the throw from Sundberg he's a 14. That's a 3, not in time. Now this may be an error. It may go into center field. And let's see if it does or not. Sundberg is an error rating of 1, so it does not go into center field. So it's blocked by Dave Nelson, the second baseman. But it is a stolen base for Bill North, and that puts a runner in scoring position. So here's a pitch to Campaneris from Jenkins, and that's a 65 with a -10 pitcher home run number. And that's going to be a fly ball center field, and nobody advances. That's how I play that. So it's a pop up to shallow center, and Levito comes in. Here's Sal Bando. Good power pitch. And a 12 is 1 to 5 base on balls, but we roll a 6, struck him out for the second out of the inning. So Bando swings and misses and heads back to the bench. And here comes Reginald Martinez Jackson, number 44. Pitch from Jenkins, 53 and a 19. Okay, so we're going to re-roll that because it's a KD number, 51 to 53. Actually, we may not have to re-roll that. Let me see. Hold on a second. Well, yes, because it could have been a 1 or a 2 or 3, and that would have been a KD number. So we definitely want to re-roll that. It's going to be past the, it's hit to the shortstop, Hara. And with this game, you get the chart with all the positions. And Toby Hara is a 7 range, not a great range, 7 out of 20. So 7 or less, and he'll make a diving play for that ball, and no, it's by him. Just over his glove, out of his reach, and a base hit. Oh, and now I have, let's see what happens. And North is going to have to stop. Coming hard is Johnson. North takes a turn, and the ball was in front of him, so he had to stutter step and to avoid getting hit by the ball. So North avoids the ball somehow. It gets by Hara. Johnson plays it aggressively and prevents North from coming home with 2 outs on a single. So Jackson is on at first with a base hit, with a knock, and that's going to bring up Gene Tennis. Pitch from Ferguson, and I'm sorry, pitch from Jenkins, Fergie Jenkins, and that's a 1-4. That's going to be bounced to third base. Brown will go to second for the force, and that retires the side. Here we come, bottom of the first inning. Texas Rangers are coming up. I'm replaying certain teams from 1974. Just having fun with it. Dave Nelson is going to lead off. Now, I sleeved all these cards. Here's a pitch, and it's a 22, which is can be a hit, but in this case, it's going to be a ground ball to third. Scooped up by Bando on target to tennis. One away, so Dave Nelson grounds out. Next up is Toby Harrah. Pitch from Kenny Holtzman, a 16 and a 13 will be ripped to short. Campaneris backhands it and throw to first in time. Alex Johnson comes to the plate. Pitch from Holtzman, a 61. It should be a strikeout, and it is. Strikes him out. Gets him with a curve. 3 up, 3 down for Kenny Holtzman. Kenny Holtzman was 19 and 17. Wow. 255 innings pitched, 9 complete games out of 40 starts. Here's Joe Rudy, one of the reasons I play 1974 and the 70s. I like pitchers to go deep into games. 62 and strikeout. Checks his swing, and umpire at first rings him up. Rudy doesn't agree. And here's Darren Johnson. Darren Johnson, 195 and 200 at bats. Holy smokes, with only 7 home runs. So Darren Johnson's career is quickly going downhill, and by 1974. Fergie Jenkins now with the pitch to Johnson, and a 21 will be strike 3. He swings and misses, chases a high fastball. Ray Fosse. Never been the same since that collision with Pete Rose. It's a 56, and that'll turn into a swing and a miss. Goes down on strikes, and that retires the side. Go to the bottom of the second. No score. Jeff Burrows. Kenny Holtzman gets a sign, winds and deals. And a 42 will be bouncing ball to the shortstop who charges and throws a strike over to tennis to get Burrows. Here's Tom Grieve, right-handed hitter against Holtzman. Holtzman with the pitch, and that's going to be a drive down the line. If it's fair, it's trouble, and into the corner. Rudy plays the carom. Digging for second is Grieve. Here's the throw from Rudy, the tag by Green, and he is safe. So Tom Grieve, a 1-out double into the corner. Strokes one. And that was a 6 with a 55. 1 to 6 was a double. So Tom Grieve hits a double. He's on at second, 1 out, and here's Jim Fregosi. No score in this game. Pitch a 52, so that's going to be, the KD number is 1 to 3. We roll a 15, we're going to re-roll that. We're going to find out who it's hit to, 52. That's what I use basically the cards for. It's going to be second base, Green. Now Green is at second base, a 4 or less. Didn't make many errors, and nope, makes that play. Moving to third will be Grieve. And up comes Joe Levito, switch hitter. Pitch from Holtzman. And the 64 is going to be a tapper right back to the mound. Holtzman plays it over to first, and that retires the side. Top of the third. Dick Green leads off. He's a right-handed hitter. Pitch from Jenkins. And a 65, a -7. Only on a 1 will be out of here. That's a drive to right. Burrows back to the track and makes the catch one way. Here comes Billy North. Pitch to North, switch hitter, a 33 is a hot shot, and that's past the diving second baseman Nelson. And that is going to be a 33, has a plus sign there on 1 to 17. We rolled at 11. So North is going to get a chance to steal. We're going to roll it to check that, see if that's a pickoff, no pickoff. And here's a roll for North. And that's a 4. There he goes, the throw down by Sundberg, and he is safe. His second stolen base of the game. Now, how many steals did he have that season? He had 60 steals in 80 attempts. Well, 55 in 80 attempts. All right, so North is on at second base with 1 out. Here comes Bert Campaneris. Campaneris knocked in 40 runs, not very many, but that's going to be a 12, which is a 1-17 base on balls, but that's a 20. So that's lined and caught. Now, this could be a double play. This could be a double play. We roll that D20. If it's to the pitcher to the first baseman, I play 2, 3, 12, 13 on the double play. And that's a 2. And it's lined back to Jenkins. It catches, it freezes North, and Harris sneaks in behind him for the double play. So an L, and it's a 1-6 out at second base. And that retires the side. So North kind of got stuck in between. Anyway, here comes Larry Brown. Larry Brown with, I did not sleeve Larry Brown because he only has 76 at-bats, so he won't be playing very much. Here's a pitch. Played him 54 games, and that's a 61. That'll be a swing and a miss. Jimmy Sundberg went out now. And a 44. That's going to be lined. Base hit center field. Rips one to center. Played on a hop by North. Sundberg is an A, so he's an average fielding type guy. Running type guy. So Sundberg is on at first, and Dave Nelson with a 14, and that's a hard hit ball to third. Bando goes to second for 1, back to first, round the horn, double play, 5, 4, 3. Go to top of the 4th. The game plays very, very quickly. And it's Sal Bando up against Fergie Jenkins. And a 23 will be a check swing, and they check with the first base umpire, and he rings him up. 1 down on a K. Here's Reggie Jackson. Pitch from Jenkins, and that's going to be a 63. And he swings and misses at a high fastball. Jenkins is releasing some heat today. And Gene Tennis. And a 42 will be a bouncer to short. Hara over to first. That retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. Go to the bottom of the 4th. No score. It's Texas 0-2-0 and Oakland 0-3-0. Toby Hara leads off here. Right-handed hitter with a 36, and that will be a bouncer to third, and Bando scoops it, fires a strike to Tennis for the first out. Alex Johnson now. Alex Johnson had a good season, about 291, but was traded towards the end of the season. 24, 1-6. That's a hit by pitch number. And he's a -2. That's a 1-6. So it's a total 1-4. We roll a 13, and that's a ground ball again up the middle. Campaneris gets there, spins, throws the first, scooped out by Tennis. 6-3, 2 away. Jeff Burrows steps in the box, the right-handed hitter. Good power with 25 home runs, 118 RBIs. I think he won the MVP that year. Here's a pitch from Holtzman, lefty. 36, and that will be a fly ball deep center field, backing up his North to the track, and he hauls it in. So Burrows gave it a ride, but it was tracked down by North. Here's Joe Rudy leading off. Joe Rudy's, he had a good season in 74, 293. Here's a pitch. And that's going to be a 35, which will be a fly ball to right. Burrows and Levito, and it's Burrows who calls him off. 1 down. Darren Johnson, right-handed hitter. Winds and deals. 53 and a 5. And that's going to be a KD check. It's 1-4. That's close. So we're going to roll that. We're going to see it's a range play at third base plus a possible error. So we've got a couple of things to check out here. It's a 1 base error potentially, right? Third baseman is Larry Brown. And Larry Brown's error number is an 11. So he has a tendency to commit errors. Let's roll that. 11, and he doesn't boot it. He makes the play. Now, had there been a single, in other words, he gets to the ball, He gets to the ball. He stops the ball. Now he has to throw the ball, so there could be an error. So he does get to the ball. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. So his range is 1 to no. Okay. Now I see why I screwed up. Okay, so Larry Brown's range is a 1 to 12. So that ball he knocks down. So he's going to rush the throw, and now we're going to check the 11. So on the next roll, and that's going to be an error. So this is tricky because he gets to the ball. He gets to the ball. Normally he would have made the play, but this is forcing us to check twofold: the range, and then the play on the card also has a throwing error. And he does make the throwing error. It's a high throw, so the runner is safe at first. And I have a visitor here. So it's going to be an E5. And Darren Johnson is at first. Okay. So an error on Larry Brown. And let me find out what they need out there. Something's going on. All right, we're back. And let's see where we're at here. That's a good thing about having a helper. It keeps track of where you're at. Sometimes you get distracted. At top of the fifth, 1 out. Darren Johnson reaches base on an error by Larry Brown. It's Ray Fosse. So let's move that out of the way. And here's the pitch from Fergie Jenkins, a 42, and that 42 will be a ground ball to third baseman Brown. Now let me see what the result of that one is. I don't know that it's an error. 15 is it's a double play, but only if he has an S arm. Brown at third base. Brown has an average arm, so there's no double play, but he gets the man at second on a force, 5-4. Now you need to use the Fall Classic Easy Runner Advanced chart, best chart, hands down. Played this for a few years now, so I know what I'm talking about. It's the easiest to understand, it's the most direct, and there's, as we speak, there's adjustments and improvements to every aspect of the game. All right, so next batter will be Dick Green. Dick Green hasn't had a hit yet in the season, batting 0-0-0 in 2 games. This is his second game. Fergie Jenkins gets the sign, looks over at Fosse. Fosse's not going anywhere. Jenkins gets the sign from Sundberg, sets and deals to Green, and that's going to be a 46. Now that's a ballpark effect, but with the 16, that's going to be popped up. Our righty's going to pop it up towards the right side of the infield, and that's Fregosi in foul territory. And Fregosi near the stands will lean in and comes up with it. Yes, sirree. First baseman Fregosi flashing the leather a little bit, and that retires the side at the bottom of the 5th. And we're going to see Tom Grieve in the bottom of the 5th leading off. Grieve had a double earlier in the game, right? It's Grieve, Fregosi, and Lovito. Here's a pitch from Kenny Holtzman with a 41, and that'll be a bouncer to second base. Easy play for Green, 1 down. So Grieve bounces out. Here's Jim Fregosi now. Pitch from Holtzman, winds and deals at 24 is going to be a fly ball lifted to center field, and on the run is North, and North tracks it down. Got a good beat on that ball right from the start. Right from the crack of the bat, North was on it. Here's switch hitter Lovito batting from the right side against Kenny Holtzman, and a pitch from Holtzman. And 34 is going to be a check swing, a little blooper, and that's over the head of Campaneris. Drops in front of Rudy, and Rudy gets it in, and Lovito's on with a single. Little bloop single, check swing, Texas League single, since we are in Texas. Here's Larry Brown. Larry Brown is 76 at bats, so I did not seal him. I did not sleeve him. Here's Kenny Holtzman with a pitch to Brown, and that's going to be a 63, which will be a hard hit ball, line drive to center field, and North positioned perfectly and hauls it in to retire the side. Top of the 6th. Still no score. Bill North is up, leading off. Here's a pitch from Fergie Jenkins, and a 14 will be a fly ball. Shallow right, Nelson back, Burrows in, and it's Burrows. One away. So North flies out, and here's Bert Campaneris. Steps in the box. Pitch from Jenkins with a 65, and that's going to be a fly ball center field. Again, Levito, he's right there. 2 down. Next is Sal Bando. Sal Bando hit 22 home runs, batted .243 pitch. And a 22 will be ball 4, so he walks. Good eye from Bando. Bando walks 100 times every year. And that brings up Reginald Martinez Jackson. He's got the power. And Jenkins better proceed with caution. Here's the pitch, and that is a 56, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Corkscrews Jackson right into the home plate area. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, no score. Jimmy Sundberg leads off. Let me see if I can track Sundberg down. There he is. Holtzman winds and deals, and that's a 64. Be a fly ball. Lifted in the air to left field. Rudy comes over and gets under it, squeezes it for out number 1. Dave Nelson's up next. Pitch from Holtzman with a 32, which will be a drive into left center field. On the run is Rudy, and Rudy tracks it down. So Nelson gives it a ride and has no luck. It's caught by Rudy. We're in the bottom of the 6th, no score. Toby Harrow. Pitch, and that's a 32, which will be a bouncer to short. Campaneris fires a strike to Tennis, and that retires the side. Here's Gene Tennis, leads off the top of the 7th for the A's. No score, 0-3-0 for the A's, 0-3-1 for the Rangers. The pitch from Jenkins, a 13, is a tapper right back to Jenkins. Feels it, throws the first one down. So Tennis bounces out to the pitcher. Here comes Joe Rudy. Joe Rudy hit 22 home runs in 74. 34, and that is going to be a drive to right down the line, and Burrows on the run, and Burrows comes up with it. 2 out. Darren Johnson now. Jenkins, 34. Line drive, center field, Levito. Slides and makes the grab. Bottom of the 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ballpark time. Alex Johnson is going to lead off for the Texas Rangers. No score in this game. Locked in a pitcher's duel between Fergie Jenkins and Kenny Holtzman. 1974. What were you doing in 1974? Where were you living? Long time ago. Yes, sirree. TV dinners. CBS, NBC, ABC. Here's a pitch. And it's a 44. Johnson rips one, base hit to left center field, played by Rudy. And that one's going to have a plus sign, so we're going to have to roll that 1d6. And that's a 1. We may get a Holtzman is a lefty, and he is an average lefty, so I believe that's 1-6. And he picks him off. And, he almost had him. An 18, 19, and 20 is a potential error on Holtzman. Holtzman's error rating is a 4. We're going to roll that again, 1-4, and the ball gets by Tennis, and no, Tennis blocks it. The ball is in the dirt. Johnson is back head first, and Tennis blocks it from going into right field. And Burrows is batting. So let's get rid of some of these dice. The green one. All right, so if it's a 1 on that green one, that's when you check for the pickoff or the pitcher error throwing to first base. Here's Jeff Burrows, and that's a 63, which is going to be a 13. He's a righty, so that's bounced up the middle, and Campaneris gets there. Let's see if they can turn a double play. The 13 double play, and he flips to Green, the relay to first in time. 6-4-3 double play. 2 away. And it's going to be Tom Grieve now with nobody on. Pitch from Holtzman. and a 53. Now that's a whole set of circumstances. We're going to re-roll this. We're going to find out who it's to, and that's going to be to center field. North will make a running, sliding, tumbling catch. And yes, sir, he's a 12 range. We rolled a 2 range, so he does make that catch in center field to retire the side. So Billy North comes up huge. And Ray Fosse leads off here in the top of the 8th inning against Fergie Jenkins. Got a shutout going. And that's going to be a 55. And that's a 1-8 triple. We roll a 9. That's line base hit and cut off by Johnson. So Fosse, who is a decent runner, will stay in and run. Dick Green is going to square. He is a good bunter and lays one down. Perfect. Picked up by the pitcher. And moving to second is Fosse. Now we may run for Fosse. Let's see who we got. Don't we have? Oh wait, we got Herb Washington, I believe. Yep, there he is, pinch runner extraordinaire. Wow. Okay, so we have to look at his card. What that's going to be like? Oh God. All right. Herb Washington's going to come and pinch run. Yeah, like 26 stolen bases and 40 attempts, something like that. All he ever did was pinch run, never had an at-bat, never played the field. One-dimensional guy, but Charles Finley, I think it was, right? Chuck Finley, excuse me. Chuck Finley or Charles Finley? I don't know. Can't remember anymore. Herb Washington, that's what we're looking for. There. Oh, wait, you know what? Herb Washington may be one of those players that is in the extra card deck. Simply because he had no at bats. Yep. So he's in the extra card deck. And let me check something out real quick here. Okay, so Washington's going to come in, but he's not going to try to steal third. Okay, so I don't have to worry about his card. His card is there in the extra players, which you get in a PDF format. But I'm not going to grab that right now. And Bill North is up. Bill North is up with 1 out. Jenkins. How's Jenkins doing on the pitch count? Now, Jenkins can go 36, and Holtzman only 31. So 27 and 23. Wow, what a game. 2 aces going at it. Here's the pitch from Jenkins to North, and that's going to be a 26, which is a check swing blooper into center field. Is that going to drop in? Yes, it drops in, and with that 19, will the runner score 2 bases unless the right fielder Burrow's arm is a strong arm, and Burrow's arm in right field is going to be a weak arm, so coming around to score will be Washington, Herb Washington. And the A's have taken a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 8th. Bert Campaneris now with Bill North at first base, and he's going to have a chance to steal. And roll for that pickoff, nothing. And there goes North, the throw down, and he is safe. Is that his 3rd stolen base of the game? I believe it is. Stolen base North 3, yes sir. Wow. And you don't see that very often. And here is Bert Campaneris, 1-0 A's. The pitch to Campaneris from Jenkins. And that's going to be a 25, a 6, a hard hit ball to the shortstop Hara, who looks North back to the second. It's going to be a 6-3 with the runner holding. And that's 2-way, and here comes Sal Bando. Sal Bando walked last time up. Jenkins gets a sign from Sundberg, sets the wheels and the pitch, and that is going to be a 36, which will be a fly ball deep center field. DeVito back to the track and hauls it in for out number 3. But the A's come up with the only run of the game so far. And we're going to see a new catcher. It tells me, no, Larry Haney is going to come in to catch. And Kenny Holtzman versus Fregosi, Jim Fregosi. And the pitch, it's a 33. That's going to be your rip base hit. Fregosi, slow runner, so we're going to have pinch run for him. It's going to be Lenny Randall. And Levito now is probably going to bunt. Now, I don't make any adjustments for bunting, but I could. But I don't because I just don't want to deal with it. So this is going to be bunted to the third baseman. Third baseman Bam is going to look to second. Nope, throws to first. So that's a good sack. And moving into scoring position for Larry Brown is Lenny Randle, the pinch runner. Holtzman gets the sign from Hank on the pitch, and that's going to be 15, which will be a tapper right back to Holtzman. Now, normally this is a double play. In this case, the way I play it is if Holtzman is a W, he advances. Otherwise, he's going to hold up. Very conservative when I play this. 1-3. And he will hold at second base. Now, if he's a W arm, I will allow him to advance to third base. All right, here's Sonny Sundberg. Holtzman gets the sign, shakes off Haney, and Haney's going to go out to talk to Holtzman right now. Lenny Randle, the tying run, is at second base with 2 outs. Jim Sundberg, the batter, is out of the box, takes a couple of practice swings, now steps back in. Holtzman, he's ready. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 42, and that'll be a fly ball. Line drive, left field, Rudy, and Rudy makes the catch. Go to the top of the ninth. 1-0. Athletics. New first baseman. It's going to be Jim Spencer coming in. And Reggie Jackson leads off the top of the ninth for the A's against Fergie Jenkins. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a 26, and against a righty, that's a base hit. Jackson slaps one over the shortstop's head, and he's on at first. Gene Tennis now. Jenkins, the pitch to Tennis, and 33. That's going to be ball 4. Tennis walks. Tennis has a ton of walks. Walked 110 times in 74. And here's Joe Rudy. Now, Joe Rudy, not a great bunter. And Jenkins is tiring, but he's still okay. He can go 36 batters, and he's gone. 32 batters. You don't think that Rudy's going to bunt here. Here's a pitch from Jenkins, and that's going to be a 35, which will be a fly ball center field. Tagging up is Jackson, and Jackson will go to, let me just double check on the 8. Jackson will tag up and go to third if he's an F. Don't know that he is not. He's an A. Okay. To right field, he would tag up, so it's a fly ball for the first out. Joe Rudy heads back to the bench, and up comes Darren Johnson against Fergie Jenkins. Pitch from Jenkins, and that's going to be a 46, and that's popped up. Against a righty, it's going to be to the first base, right side of the infield. Foul territory. And Spencer hauls it in. And here comes Larry Haney. Replaced Fossey. Let's see, let's grab Haney. There he is. He had 120 at-bats. Here's the pitch from Jenkins, and that's a 63, which will be strike 3. Got him. All right, last licks for the Rangers. They trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the ninth in Texas. It's Arlington, Texas Ranger, Arlington Stadium. 1-6-0 for the visiting A's and 0-5-1 for the Rangers. Dave Nelson is going to lead off. Pitch from Holtzman. 22, and that's lined. 10 is going to be lined, and 2 is 10, and it's going to be lined to left field, and Rudy is right there. One down, so Nelson hits it hard, but right at Rudy, positioned perfectly. Here's Toby Harrah. Pitch from Holtzman. 34, and that will be bounced up the middle, and that's through for base hit. So Harrah gets on first on a knock. And Alex Johnson, not a great bunter, not a great hit and run guy. He's going to swing away against Holtzman, the pitch, and that's going to be a 26 against the lefty. That's a base hit. The 20 is going to be assist chance. That means it's score. Assist chance trying to score with 2 out. So that's all. So he's not trying to score right now. So he will play it safe. Just going to play it safe right now. He's in scoring position at second base. And he's going to bring up Jeff Burrows. Kenny Holtzman first and second. 1 out. Burrows, he's ready. Holtzman sets and deals to Burrows, and that's going to be a 62, which is a 5. And that may be the end of the game. Ground ball to third, unless he's a W arm. Bando, there's no way. Bando goes to second for 1, back to first. Double play, ball game over. 5-4-3. And Jenkins, Holtzman pulls off a shutout, 1-0. Shutout. 1-6-0 for the A's and 0-7-1 for the Rangers, and they made it exciting at the end. Kenny Holtzman, what a day. Pitcher's duel on both sides. 7-hitter for Kenny Holtzman. No walks, 2 strikeouts. Jenkins with 6 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. And that's all she wrote, my friends. This is Tony Porter, Tabletop Dice Baseball. And remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and tune in to all my other videos. And hopefully they're informative for you, and they give you a little bit of what you need to keep on rolling those dice. I will see you guys very soon. Final score, the A's 1 and the Rangers 0.